Well, as a kid, I was born on a farm, or raised on a farm, and my parents didn't have boys, so all of us girls did what the boys would have done, and so we always got that attitude of we can do whatever we want to do. About 7 years ago, I went for a tour of Xcel Energy plant here in Amarillo, and I loved it. I loved the generators, I loved the atmosphere, I loved it. But I kept applying, and they kept saying that you had to have some kind of background. You had to have either education or you had to have experience. Well, every place that I tried to apply to get experience said you had to have background, education, something. The best job I'd ever had was as an assistant manager at a mechanic shop, and waiting tables was the most money that I made. And you're always going to need power. You're always going to need people to work on your vehicles. You're always going to need health care. I'm not a healthcare girl. I like to work on motors. I like to do stuff with my hands. I've always been more mechanical. After I went for that tour, it just fell into place, like I fell in love with it. I would definitely recommend technical education to anybody if they enjoy that type of thing. Everybody has their own strengths and their own weaknesses, but it's a wonderful field. It has so many possibilities, and everything in your day involves something to do with technical education. It's always going to be useful. Making it through school with Amarillo College, it put me in this place where I have these new job opportunities, and I'm leaving in 6 days for a job with Feld Entertainment, who owns Disney on Ice. And I will be traveling the world making ice rinks for ice skaters, running generators, stuff like that, HVAC equipment, chillers. So without school, without HVAC and my hands-on and learning what I've learned, I wouldn't be able to go. I'm going to get to travel to everywhere. They said Australia, China, Brazil, everywhere, South America. So I have these 3 years definitely opened up some doors for me that I never saw coming. And then now, like, I have all these opportunities in front of me and all these choices, and it's just crazy what 3 years of school, 3.5 years of school will do for you. The teachers at Amarillo College out at the East Campus were fantastic. They were supportive through everything, through life events. Bob Johnson was like my cheerleader. Whenever I felt like I couldn't do it anymore, he was always encouraging to keep doing it. My second semester in, Bob Guston helped me get a job at Amarillo Gear, which helped me financially wise and kind of helped me make it through school. It was kind of my bread and butter for 3 years, and that was a stepping stone again. Get me a little experience in the field, as well as made me where I wasn't working 2 jobs anymore to make it through. And then Dr. Hayes also, he's amazing with how much he knows. He is so smart. Like they're all so smart and helpful, and they're really good at showing you what they know and helping you any way that they can. Stuff in life happens, sometimes you get discouraged, but push through it and get there, because you don't know what's waiting on the other side, and you don't get anything unless you finish things.